Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have a coin conversation about the gold to silver ratio. And I'm going to go ahead and take a question here from TJO 1980. What are your thoughts about the gold to silver ratio? It's narrowing, and I'm wondering if now might be a good time to exchange some silver for gold, as I get the sense that gold is less volatile in the long run. All right. Great question. And there's lots of things to unpack just in that little question there. First, the gold to silver ratio. Okay. So this is one of those things that I don't understand. And what I mean by that is it's one of those things that I've heard people talk about for a very long time. And I'm not certain what the point is because, I've been doing this for over 2 decades and I don't see any relationship in the gold to silver ratio. um, what point in history are you going to go back to and look at and say, you know what, it has to be based on this or that? So there's a famous politician named William Jennings Bryan who had uh, proposed, he ran his entire campaign on having a 16-to-1 gold to silver ratio. And so I don't see us holding on to that ratio. And yet we look at these ratios and we look at gold and silver as though they are interdependent and not independent of one another. And I'm sure that there's a historical reason for that, but I don't know that it applies today. Our industries are very different than they used to be. The use of metals is very different. Gold is going to be used a whole lot more in electronics than silver is going to be used in industry. So, there is some question to me about whether or not they should have a ratio. If you look a couple weeks ago, silver was $18 an ounce and gold was 1800. And so that was a 100-to-1 ratio. And as of this recording, gold is $2,034 at an all-time high, and silver is at $28.32. So you've got basically a 72-to-1 ratio. So that ratio changed really quickly. But would you buy gold or silver based on the ratio between the two of them? And it sounds like a lot of people, that's what they expect to do. They are going to judge the value of one based on the value of another. And I don't know that you should really look at it that way. I think that what I'm seeing is gold is at an all-time high, and silver is, a little bit over half its all-time high. So, if you want to look at it from some type of historical perspective of what gold and silver have done in the past, then wouldn't silver be the play? Wouldn't you go for the metal that is not performed the way that it used to be? And speaking of history, why aren't we all trying to buy platinum, right? So let's go back to April of 2000, and gold was $280, silver was $5, and platinum was 485, palladium was 575. So the gold to silver ratio was 56-to-1 at the time, and but really platinum was almost double the price of gold, and this stayed that way for a long time. Historically, platinum has been more expensive than gold for decades. And then in the last about 5 years, they were kind of on par. And now I can get 2 ounces of platinum for every 1 ounce of gold. That to me is really the fascinating ratio. Like, I am really interested in this. So anyway, I think that for your gold to silver ratio question, I don't know if it matters or not. I know a lot of guys that are using it for their investment strategy in metals. I still happen to think that it all comes down to personal finance. If you want to invest $100 a week, you can be buying silver. If you want to invest, a couple $1,000s, you can be buying gold. Most likely, that's how you're going to look at it. Lastly, he asks if gold is less volatile in the long run, or he says that he thinks maybe gold's less volatile in the long run. Once again, this just depends on your overall strategy. Are you planning on buying in now just to hop out when something is at a high? Because if you are, well, then gold's already at that high. Do you have a long-term strategy of just buying metal as a part of your overall investment package? Then to me, it looks like the value play is probably platinum. And how much money do you have, right? So are you going to be spending lots of money on high premium stuff right now? Can you find silver at a reasonable price right now? Um, So it depends a whole lot on your economics. From what I can tell, the gold to silver ratio is not a real thing. It is something that we just talk about because it's a number that we can kind of look at and make guesses about. But it seems to me that the price of gold, silver, platinum, and palladium are not directly related to one another. They do not have a correlation in value or price. And so I don't know that we should use the gold or silver ratio anymore. So, anyways, I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.